the year 2024. I shall be giving press briefing on the achievements of the Joint Task Force South-South Operation Data Set from January 2024 to date. The Joint Task Force South-South Operation Data Set has continued to deliver on its mandate, which is to protect oil and gas infrastructure and deter militancy, sea robbery, crude oil theft, and other forms of criminality within the 10 states of the joint operation area that could impact negatively on economic activities in the Niger Delta. The joint task force activities covers 10 states of Bayelsa, Delta, Imo, and River states, as well as the southern part of Abia, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Ondo, and Anambra states, where oil activities are ongoing. The task force has continued to engage in various activities which have resulted to modest achievement towards actualizing its mandate within the year 2024. Having worked so assiduously in its mandate within the year to ensure that crude oil production increased from about 1.2 million barrels per day at the beginning of the year to about 1.83 million barrels currently. It becomes expedient for this conference today. Of course, this feat came along with some challenges. Notably, it is free price paid by some of our colleagues, which we are aware. The need for today's conference is to assess our performances and project for the year 2025, which is necessary to sustain the joint task force efforts to enhance Nigerian economic prosperity towards our national development, as emphasized by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of Federal Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, having laid the foundation to highlight on our achievements. I will quickly delve into the achievement of the task force within the period. Following the abysmal reduction in crude oil production output in the second quarter of the year, the President and Commander-in-Chief gave a marching order to the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.G. Musa, also of the Federal Republic, to end crude oil theft and scale up production to 2.2 million barrels before the end of the year. Accordingly, the Operation Data Set launched a 90-day operation which was aimed at restoring oil and gas production to full capacity within the South-South and the Southeast geopolitical zones. The operation had been conducted and concluded in 2 phases, with each phase lasting 45 days. The operation ended, to be precise, on 16th October 2024, with remarkable successes resulting to major achievements as I have enumerated. As of today, there is sheer reduction in crude oil theft and illegal refining activities to about 85% within the first quarter of the year 2024. Secondly, there has been a sustenance of terminal factors of about 95% on the Trans-Niger pipeline, Trans-Hamus and transnational pipelines in the last 3 months, as well as the key performance indicator of 89, 96, and 97% in the East, West, and Central corridors, respectively, as at 4 December 2024. Not minding the current infractions here and there. The third achievement by the OPDs is, as I earlier pointed out, the upscaling of crude oil output from 1.2 million barrels per day at the beginning of the year to 1.8 million barrels as of today. This, of course, is geared towards attaining the 2.2 million barrel benchmark at the end of the year. We are not there yet, but we have to get there. Again, we've continued to picket facilities of suspected end users of stolen crude and illegal refined products, such as asphalt plants, bitumen companies, hotels, and the likes. What this activity has led us to now is that we've been able to bring the price of illegal refined products to legally refined to near at a par. The difference is not up to a liter, not up to 340 naira as it is today. Again, the Joint Task Force has been able to bust a four-man syndicate that specializes in the production of fake documents since 2021 for movement of stolen crude and illegal refined products. As we speak, the syndicate has been lifted to Defense Intelligence Agency for further investigation. We equally have initiated the establishment of Operation Data Set roadblocks along East-West Road, Port Harcourt-Aba Road, Eche-Oreta Road, Ele-Lowere Road, and the Bori-Apak Road, not minding the latest directive for reduction of roadblock. These roadblocks is selected and careful mind, and the boys are doing their best to ensure that we interdict possible conveyance of illicit products. Other achievements by the Joint Task Force include the activation of about over 1.1 million illegal refining sites with different camps, destruction of over 1.4 million, 1,400 storage facilities, and 1,000 land building boats. Again, we've been able to arrest and appropriate handling of over 300 vehicles comprising trucks, tankers, cars, tricycles, conveying crude oil and illegal products. Similarly, we've been able to handle over 15 million liters of stolen crude oil and about 4 million liters of illegal refined automatic gasoline oil. We equally have handled over 41,000 liters of domestic petroleum kerosene and a seizure of over 233,000 liters of premium motor spirit. The Joint Task Force has equally arrested more than 1,000 suspects in connection with various crimes, and they are currently undergoing prosecution, while some of them are set free after investigation. One other thing that we're working for the Joint Task Force is enhanced community engagement and the mediation between international oil companies as well as local oil companies with the host communities, which of course are led to resolving of about 19 community corporate social responsibility related disputes with major oil companies like Chevron, Citgo, and Shell Petroleum Development Corporation, ITO, Leconde, Total, and so many of them. This is considered as our achievement because it has led to conducive environment for oil activity to thrive. We equally have enhanced synergy between government security, intelligence agencies, private security companies, local oil companies, as well as international oil companies, and other related stakeholders. In furtherance of the 90 days operation, even though it has ended, the CDS approved the extension of the operation to the end of the year to ensure that we consolidate on the achievements recorded. In addition to the ongoing operations, there are so many operations ongoing to ensure that the 2.2 million barrel is met. In addition to these various other operations ongoing in various sectors, HQOPDS has just concluded special operations in Zone 3 around Oyibo, Oguzo, Asa, Owaza, Ifu, south of Abia, and Imo, as well as River State, where activities of oil thieves were observed to be on the increase. These operations have yielded some dividend, positive results. Having said so much on achievements of the Joint Task Force, I want to shed light on our challenges. All these achievements is not that challenges. But in the midst of these challenges, we've been able to overcome. So most of the challenges that affect our operations, not limited to them, but these are the major ones. Inadequate assets. The operations of Operation Data Set demand availability of adequate and functional assets, such as gunboats, vehicles, tactical drones. When I mean tactical drones, the drones that have night capability. I want to applaud the Commandant General of Civil Defense for graciously providing 3 drones for the task force. Again, tracking device. We need more advanced tracking device. More so, the high cost of running and maintaining gunboats and vehicles deployment for day and night operations and surveillance is another challenge. So this, in the same vein, leveraging appropriate agencies to track incidences at their core takes time, which of course is the hindrance to our operations. Insufficient petrol, oil and lubricants. Petroleum, oil and lubricants, that is POL for short, has remained critical in our operations. The recent increase in the price of aviation fuel, premium motor spirit, and automatic gasoline oil has brought an additional financial and logistic burden to OPD's operation. But I wish to be able to say that the defense headquarters have been very, very helpful in this direction. Hence, however, there is a need for assistance from relevant stakeholders, such as the NNPCL, or international oil communities, as well as local oil companies, to supplement their allocation from DHP, which of course is some companies have already started doing. What about the inadequacy of outputs and the quarter carriers? Output and quarter carriers for troops are inadequate, and for us to maintain 2-4 presence along the pipeline, we need such assets to dominate the pipelines, especially with the new emerging threat of sawing along, cutting, sabotaging gas pipeline. We need such provision. The most disturbing aspect of our challenge is connivance with the criminals. It has been observed with great dismay that some unscrupulous elements have been conniving with criminals for pecuniary gains. These criminals cut across board. While the JTF will define effort to fish out these criminals, there is need for all stakeholders to do same within their respective areas of operation. Having spoken of connivance, how it has affected our operations, permit me to bring to the fore the need for the pending draft copy of a standard operating procedure The standard operating procedure that would spell out the guidelines for the operation of private security company is necessary to reduce the current friction between government security agencies and private security companies. Once this is done, I think the relationship as it is today will be much, much improved. Next is the slow recognition of reported illegal connections. Most times, when illegal connections are reported, it takes time for them to be reconnected. It's a big problem. It's highly counterproductive, and it makes the work of OPS activities to be as if we're not giving our best, as it creates opportunity for criminals to exploit for siphoning of products. There are therefore the need on NPCL to cause concerned companies to always speed up clamping of reported illegal connections by own tools. Having said this, I want to look at abandoned wellheads. Abandoned wellheads, it has been observed too that during anti-crude oil operations, numerous wellheads were seen along non-functioning pipelines or within proximity to pipelines and oil fields. You will notice that most of the crude stolen from the creeks comes from these wellheads. So the pipelines are not being operated. There's the need to deactivate or even clamp the wellheads. In this regard, complaints are often made to concerned oil companies regarding abandoned wellheads or the problem still persists due to diverse reasons. Consequently, it becomes imperative to make concerted efforts to isolate or deactivate these wells. Alternatively, companies could be encouraged to clamp down the abandoned wellhead at about 5 meters depth. Having spoken on the need for the private security companies to work with government security agencies, I decided to bring to the House the overbearing push of some of the private security companies. Recently, there have been an increase in altercations between private security companies and the government security and intelligence agencies. The private security companies are supposed to complement the efforts of the government security agencies, which is not the case at the moment. So there's need. Most worrisome, the most substantiated accusations from private security companies against government security agencies. Be that as it may, I encourage countries to work with mutuality, respect for one another. So we're all very, very germane and important, critical stakeholders to the fight against crude oil theft. Then, the problem of inability to contact some of the pipeline contractors. The OPDs do not have comprehensive lists and the contact of most pipeline contractors, and it makes it difficult to relate with them. In this regard, effort has been made for companies to provide the list of their pipeline contractors. Another issue is community-related issues. Some of the international oil companies or the local oil companies have resorted to multiple surveillance team arrangements based on right-of-way ownership in a bid to bring everybody on board. However, these are continuing to cause disputes and a disagreement within communities due to exclusion of occupants of right-of-way who are not necessarily the initial owners, but then some of them are inhabitants. Also, the international oil communities and the local oil communities, international oil companies and the local oil companies sometimes fail to respect right-of-way surveillance agreement, which have most often lead to acts of sabotage. Furthermore, both community fund and the board have not been fully established by the concerned parties as provided in Petroleum and other acts VIA 2021. The HQ OPDs will continue to engage with relevant stakeholders and the communities to not cause the condition that will not be favorable despite these issues. Again, one of the most concern of our challenges today is the emerging threats. Criminals have resorted to employment of improvised explosive device to attack oil and gas infrastructure, which was the case in the past. The incident of 22nd November 2024 at the NMPCL Chevron joint venture Daily facility in Warri, non-local government area of Delta State, caused a serious concern. Likewise, communities having disputes over expected benefits from oil companies could have resulted to sabotage of gas pipeline. The incident along LNG pipelines, the incident of November 12, 22, and 29th, which of course they are recent. The criminal elements are continuing to use hacksaw to cut LNG pipelines to sabotage gas flow on the pipelines. What is the truth doing about this? At the moment, we have made concerted efforts to track these suspects, both the one that happened at the Northwest Warri North and the one along the LNG pipeline. But most importantly, we have come up with enhanced security measures along pipeline. However, the OPDS is requesting that both stakeholders should support us to provide advanced tracking devices and other enablers to further nip these criminal activities on the board. Having looked at the challenges with developing this operation, I want to look at the efforts of joint task force to sustain the current gains. But I know that this is one thing the president want to know. What are we going to do to sustain the current gain of 1.83 million barrels per day? The effort of joint force in addressing the aforementioned challenges, and again, most importantly, to sustain the gains already the feat we have already achieved, includes expanded community engagement. The joint task force will continue to collaborate with both international oil companies and the local oil companies to enhance expanded community engagement of right-of-way sovereignty to cover communities in the proximity of existing right-of-way which are not included in the current arrangement. This is to discourage community involvement in acts of sabotage and the connivance due to perceived exclusion and the negligence in provision of infrastructure to such communities which are not on the right of way of pipeline. This is what we want to do. And I want to equally say again, we are going to engage contractors in dialogue where we engage them and further educate them. We haven't spoken on expanded community engagement. I'll quickly look at robust stakeholders collaboration, which of course expanded community engagement appears similar, but it may not be similar. The collaborative effort of stakeholders will need to be more robust with intensified intelligence sharing to drive government security operation, government security agencies operation. As it is today, the sharing of intelligence among government security agencies appears not to be the way it ought to be. So we have developed mechanisms to further partner, to further share, so as to improve on our way it is now. This will ensure better coverage of oil and gas facilities, employing the limited available resources effectively by bridging the gap between stakeholders and the government security agencies. Also, we hope to extend our security coverage to gas facility, which hitherto were not target of criminals due to the emerging security threat of attacks on such pipelines. Then, employment of advanced technology. The Joint Task Force will deploy more of tactical drones and other enablers to provide online real-time coverage of activities in joint operation area. We will improve on collaboration, on sharing of technical intelligence by both oil companies to reduce response time and reaction time. These are geared towards enhancing deliberate operation on the affected areas of infraction. We equally look at possibility of intensifying interdiction of end users of stolen crude and illegal refined products, as it was observed that several business entities, as earlier mentioned, such as asphalt plants and the likes, have continued to, they are not limited to them, of course, but they are the major end users of stolen crude and illegal refined products. So the Joint Task Force has sustained interdiction of these end users to cut off supplies, and again to make the products scarce, so as to bring the prices of both legally refined almost apart to discourage the producers in the forest. We equally have developed mechanisms to interdict corrupt elements within the system that have a tendency or that connive with thieves. Because we have observed that some unscrupulous elements, including everybody that has very few, not all, and they have a tendency to work with thieves. So we have developed, not only that we have intensified effort to fish out these criminals, we equally have developed some database where we compile lists. As we investigate, we compile a list, and then we enter our list, and even persons of interest, companies of interest, persons of interest. Again, we have developed mechanism of blacklisting of defaulting stakeholders. The Joint Task Force deployed the blacklisting approach of all oil operators and the defaulting vessel owners to serve as deterrents in the fight against crude oil theft. This approach has led to strict adherence to the directives and the old SOP on oil exploration and the movement of products with due authorization. Again, having considered the antics of mischief makers in terms of those that will tend to downplay our activities or rubbish the effort of the task force, we considered robust engagement of media as one other effort to sustain our operation. In that vein, the OPD has continued to engage with media in addressing the contemporary security challenges in our 10 states, as well as enlightening the populace on the benefit of sharing intelligence and desisting from engaging in crude oil theft as inimical to the nation. In this regard, the OPDS has maintained a very cordial working relationship with the media, both print and electronic. Remarkably, Operation Data Set depends on the media to inform the public about its operations, providing coverage for several of its activities. These have ensured that the populace are well informed to prevent mischief makers from spreading fake news to the public that will tend to dent or downplay our activities. It is hoped that the media will continue this regard to complement our efforts in raising awareness of populace on the evils of engaging in these illicit activities. But at the same time, the media is pleased to request to continue to be professional by engaging in investigative journalism that will ensure that their reportage is balanced and not taking one-sided opinion. Having spoken on the effort to sustain the game, permit me to look at our future projections. The following are my future projections. I will look at the OPDS is planning to establish Operation Data Safe Apples along Imo River. Imo River is a Portugal zone, bordering both OPDS joint operation, of course, permanent, cut across Abia, Imo, Anambra, which are states within the joint operation area of 82D. Of course, overlapping. We continue to work with 82D, but we felt now that the OPDS school, in line with CDF directive, to see the possibility of establishing an outpost along Imo River. So is our projection. Because we have been observed that Imo River is a major corridor for theft, illegal refining activities, and the movement of weapons in the southeast. Accordingly, the Operation Data Safe was carried out, and in this regard, the OPDS has carried out an assessment of the corridor to determine suitable location to establish hotspots, both in Imo and the other states, to checkmate the activities of theft and other criminalities in the southeast, which of course, we hope that with that, the activities of IPOP and Eastern Network will checkmate in the southeast. Another projection we are looking at is enhanced security measures. Of course, I've mentioned that the JTF has continued to factor in emerging threats against oil and gas facilities, which of course were not the case. This, we have looked at leveraging collective effort of both government security agency, government security intelligence agency, private security companies, and all stakeholders to identify, dislocate, and apprehend suspects to sustain this game and to stop the picketing of gas pipeline. Having said all this, I wish to conclude having highlighted on the achievement of joint task force, challenges, and efforts to sustain the current feats. I wish to commend my troops for their unrelenting efforts and patriotism towards security and the protection of oil and gas in the Niger Delta. I equally wish to thank various stakeholders for their cooperation and the support in the fight against crude oil theft towards the socio-economic prosperity of our dear country, Nigeria. Above all, I want to assure the populace that no criminal will take advantage of the critical periods as the joint task force are deployed adequately in the joint operation area to prevent any criminal act or sabotage that will be inimical or that will water down our current game. Lastly, our gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are pleased to continue to be. I equally solicit again that you should please be professional. Do not report. We are not saying you should go out of their way to report what we have not done. But be professional in your reportage. This will help us to balance every part of us. Thank you, gentlemen.
You are home live to GTV African Live from Yanagwa, Bayelsa State, the commander of Joint Task Force, Rear Admiral J.O. Okeke, has just given details of what the Operation Delta Save is doing in the axis of Niger Delta, and he has given details. And this is GTV Africa bringing to you live from Yanagwa. It is time for question and answer. If you do have your questions, you can send in your question immediately, and the The Admiral will take on your questions as soon as possible.
Is the operation thinking of engaging them to see the need why, to see the need and let them know that they are actually working together for
Come closer. Can you come closer here, please?
this?
Yeah, so that.
Good afternoon, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my question, I think this is what we said. In the course of the address, we talk about private security guards, accusing government agencies, illegal activities. Are you thinking of engaging them to see them and let them know that they actually should be working together to help this project?
Thank you so very much. My dear channel correspondent. Yes, like I already said, it's work in progress. You know, in any setting, features are bound to occur. You recall that the government security agency have their statutory roles. The private security companies have their own mandate. In the post, but both of us are working towards achieving a common goal of securing oil and gas facilities. But in the course of this job, there could be frictions. We have been interacting, and the strategic level, when I mean the grand strategic level, I mean National Security Advisor, Chief of Defense Staff, Honorable Minister of Defense, and on that level, they are making effort to talk to both parties. The need for us to work as a team for common purpose. But I've said in my brief that we'll continue to work as a team, finding a common ground to resolve issues. So we'll continue to cooperate with them. We're not fighting anybody. But friction are bound to come. It's all mutual respect. And if you recall that in the beginning, at the inception of private security companies, some government agencies were part of the nucleus of that formation. So, and there's some measures in place, like what we have joint onboarding team, where all the parties are working together. The joint onboarding team, you have government security agencies and the private security companies working as a team. So we have been cooperating and we continue to cooperate. But when there's issues, we solicit that respect should be in the forefront. We have to respect each other and communicate. Once there's no communication gap, I think most of the problem will be eased off. So we continue to work together. We all take players, we are stakeholders and our players, making sure that crude oil activities is not on the increase. Thank you so much.
Products. Talk about is crude oil theft, some products were seized, suspect arrested. So I want to know going before the problem. You know that problems will always come before, and they always come, but you wait. How about having employing people, experts in this field, to be on standby so that when situations like this happen, instead of looking for them, you already have them on ground. It's just a recommendation. And that demonstrated then last meeting. We talk about media, and particularly about media because this is my jurisdiction. A lot of us, people, media outfits, we're just particular about the major mainstream and all of that, and the world has gone digital. Things happen and the media is out there. I want to say that some of these operations, a lot of journalists outside, not necessarily Abuja, outside Lagos, we have mediums that are out there that always treat press releases instead of getting facts from the field. And sometimes when you call the feedbacks are not really cool. So I want to ask, are there ways that you don't just have to work with just the media, the operation Delta State? You have to go out and just pick people to go and see for themselves because the reality is nobody wants to choose press statements. So that is my question.
Okay, thank you. My dear sister, thank you so much for your questions. You have so many questions, multiple barriers. But I will don't take it one after the other. You spoke on products, you only talk on suspects. What happens to the products? Right? Most times, these products, they are, you see, let me lay the foundation before I say what I'm going to say. You know, oftentimes, when there's a investment, when the investment being arrested, with stolen products at IC or within the backwaters, most times you do not know the original owner of the product. That's the one. I'm learning factors before I now mention what is happening. Sometimes you arrest a vessel, you write a truck, because they are. How do you even determine the one that is legitimate? How do you determine that? When this conveyance, when this vessel of trucks are not having the requisite documents to substantiate the sort of product, and oftentimes when they are heading to becomes illegal, they will carry out our tests to further ascertain the status of the product. Once these things are done, you now offer this product illegal. And when it's illegal, because you do not know where it's coming from. So ownership becomes a big problem. And they are contaminated oftentimes because of the procedure in evacuating the product. Oftentimes, oil companies, you do not even know which of the company that owns it. So it becomes a big problem. And again, we have existing directive. When you hear, when the OPD is talking about appropriate handling, what is appropriate handling? Appropriate handling is a situation where we've been allowed to either hand over to prosecuting agencies like Nigerian Civil Defense and Security and Civil Defense, EFCC, police, you understand, for further prosecution. Are you getting what I'm saying? So such products are handed to them. We do not know the company that owns it. Most times, you cannot be handed over to NNPC. We don't even, of course, all crude oil belong to federal government. But we do not know which company that owns it. So, and at that time, it's government products. Are you getting what I'm saying? Then the suspects, most times the suspects are investigated. Are you getting what I'm saying? They are investigated. We now scale them. We now profile them based on their level of ability, level of involvement. Those of them who are next deep into the crimes are separated. You had when I said, you remember I said that about 4 or 5 people in syndicate, were moved to DIA for that investigation. So we profile these suspects. Those of them that we do not really have something to pin on are set free with a bond, with a written undertaking. They will write. Some of them that are found culpable, they went our list for blacklisting. When I mean blacklisting, we do not give them approval of any business. So I don't think I'll answer your question on that. Are you not okay? Okay. Then the welfare of the men, as it is today, all task forces have a allocation from DHP. Operation allowance, logistics allowance. Logistics allowance have to do with medicals. Oh, I mentioned it then. That is petroleum, oil, and lubricant. This one comes regularly. As I speak to you today, I know I can speak for my own task force. No soldier, no troop is being moved in this task force. So we have our ops allowance, we have our logistics that are very, very being paid, and the feedings. Our men are being fed. It may interest you to know that the food we are going to eat now is being prepared by our kitchen. So we have a functional kitchen. You can look at my troops, nobody is looking hungry. So the way for the men is well taken care of. The allowances are being paid at all times. You understand? Then, in addition to that, some companies, IOCs, or international companies, and the local oil companies, they have incentives for some of our boys providing security in their facilities. When you add all these things to DHQ statutory allocations for the feeding, for the proper care, and everything, and accommodation, as well as the leave and pass, you find that the men are happy working. But the driver, I thought you would have asked, with all this again, why see the need? Why is it the problem of connivance? The driver in the whole thing is cash. And a lot of us, our level of desire is different. Some are contented, some are not contented. But for the welfare of the men are highly motivated. You can find, when you are going out, you can corner any of the soldier, and privately asking for her, what is happening? What about your welfare? Are you motivated? See through what we are hearing. Otherwise, the welfare is almost in our mind. Having said this, diversion of funds, there's no way anybody can divert funds, because the needs of that force is very, very fluid, very, very demanding. We have competing needs. The needs of this force, we need to buy coal. 10 states, where human operation is demanding. Look at the cost of petroleum product. No matter the amount you have, look at the sectors. This force the troops are many. So we don't have anywhere to divert funds, because the needs are there and the money are allocated. When the money comes to rescue PDS, each company get their money. It's stated monthly. And again, mind you that these companies, this force, we came from various services. This joint force is a joint force made up of 12 components of government, of armed forces, the police, the civil defense, DSS, DIA, operational center, custom, immigration, before now EFCC, we are part of us. Funds still come from their services. So there's no way we are lacking from, and we cannot divert, because we have competing needs. Again, contractors of oil company. What I mean here, perhaps you do not really understand what I mean. Why do we say that the challenge that we do not know them? Oftentimes, these contractors are engaged by oil companies to repair infractions along pipeline or other failures. You know, most times people think that infractions are caused by sabotage or by criminals. Sometimes these structures are weak. You can have failure here and there. There are some contractors that are dubious. Sometimes they don't do it on time. Sometimes they do it, they will not do it very well. The same people workers may come back there to be tapping. And when people are tapping, why do we want to know them? Why do we want to interfere with them? Let me again say that tomorrow, I'll be meeting with over 100 contractors to read my royal acts. So we need to have their list. We need to communicate with them, to interact with them. They'll tell us their challenges. Because if you do not pay the contractor very well, they can sabotage the mine. They will sabotage our effort, and our effort will just be minimal. So that won't mean that contractors. We are not saying that we are looking for contractors to handle any repair for us, but we need to interact with them. We need to engage with them. We need to partner with them. They are stakeholders. Then talking about media, mainstream media, looking beyond the zone where we are. Sometimes we do that, but when you do that, it can be counterproductive. So we try as much as possible to leverage. And again, I know that some media houses do not allow that kind of approach. By the time you bring a channel correspondent from Port Harcourt to come and cover something Bayelsa, what about the Bayelsa man? He can bring back blood. So we try as much as possible to leverage the people within. And the people you see today, you know, today's event is a unique one because we have a defense media office with over 17 respondents coming from diverse areas of the country, plus my whole conference. Coincidentally, it was not planned. So, but I found what you said. Sometimes we can hybrid, but you need clearance from your house, from your media houses. So, thank you, it's noted, look at it, it's possible. So, any other question?
Thank you very much, sir.
Live to GTV, like I said earlier, questions answered the details of what the operations is doing in data save has been given to the Nigerians. We're here, GTV will be cutting it. I want to let you know that we'll continue to give you updates for the time being in Bayelsa State. Till I see you again, I'm Bemiga Olamide. Enjoy your stay, enjoy your day.